Welcome to CSEC Biology, the cover page. I am Mr. Wilson, and today we're going to be looking at the CSEC 2021 final timetable. A lot of students have been waiting for this timetable, and finally, it is out. We're going to be going through the timetable very quickly to stop at the key points and look, of course, at the subjects that you'll be doing. Please be reminded that at any time you can stop or pause the video in order to write your chosen date. Please be reminded to, of course, like, and when you like, the video will be added to your playlist, and of course share. When you share, that will of course go to many persons so they will benefit from the information, and of course subscribe so that you will help to grow the channel. We up right on into the lesson, looking at what we want to call the final timetable for 2021. The exams have been pushed back 1 month, so too have the SBAs. And of course, CXC did say in a publication that I released earlier that the broad topics will be known 5 weeks before the exams. So we're going to be watching out for the broad topics coming out on the CXC website. And of course, as soon as it is available, we will make it known to you. We're scrolling through this document very quickly, but remember, you can pause the document to look at your chosen exam. We would have paused the document here so that you can read the footnotes. You are going to be observing that you are going to be seeing some asterisk and some plus signs beside some of your chosen subject. And of course, I'm sure you want to know what these would have meant. It's very important for you to pay attention here so that you don't miss the exam date. There's a lot of things that was, of course, said in that publication that I released earlier, titled CXC Breaking News. One of the things that stood out in the publication is that you can choose to defer sitting the exams this year and choose to sit it in 2022. Of course, you'll be sitting it in the January or May, June exam then. But if I were you, I'd just deal with what is in front of me. And should there be anything else to be picked up, then I'll pick up that on the back end, meaning 2022. But just go right ahead and do what you have to do now. Ensure that you're putting in a whole lot of studies. You're doing the past papers. If you've seen our study tip, we've said in our study tip that it is wise for you to do 5 to 10 years worth of past paper. The minimum here would have been 5. On our channel, we would have 5 years past paper all worked out nicely for you, and you can go through these past paper until you are comfortable. Comfortable meaning that you can say from your textbook where the supporting evidence for the particular topic or question is. Now, if you are not there, you might need to do some more work to ensure that you are there so you can say, well, this question is from this particular topic, and I'm sure that this is the answer based on the fact that I would have gone through this in my text and I'm comfortable to say that this is the answer. We're scrolling through the paper and make sure that you're paying attention. This is one of the videos that you want to be able to look at and of course pay attention. You really don't want to miss any date. You really don't even want to take my word for it. You want to see for yourselves. So you want to look at the document as we go through the document. Please be reminded that this is a document from the CXC website. So it's a document that pretty much you could go to the website and fetch if you so desire. If you want the audio, this is definitely the place, and the explanation, this is definitely going to be the place for you. You will only get the hard copy or soft copy from the CXC website, but we're going to go through the paper here and try as best as possible to provide a little more information to make sure that it's a little more comfortable to you. So we're doing an overview of the paper today, and this is where we are. We are at the key to the 2021 timetable, and this is where we're going to be focusing most of our time and energy to go through the paper. So the first exam here is going to be additional maths, not pretty much first as in date, though the exams will begin on the 14th of June. So on the 14th of July, 29th of June, and 14th of July, you're going to be having additional maths, and you can see on your screen there the time, the morning and evening for morning for paper 1, and of course 2. And paper 1 will be 1 hour 30 minutes, paper 2 2 hours and 40 minutes, and of course you are going to be having the alternative paper. Agriculture single award comes up next with a paper 1 and 2 for the 14th of July and the 16th of July. And the paper 1 is 1 hour and 15 minutes, paper 2 being 2 hours. Agriculture double award comes up with paper 1, paper 2, and of course the alternative paper for the 14th of July, 16th of June, and 24th of June. The paper 1 will be 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that comes up in the morning. Paper 2 will be in the evening. And of course, we move on down to biology, and biology has a paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper. The biology exam will be on the 13th of July, 28th of June, and 12th of July. The first exam there, paper 1 being in the evening, 1 hour and 15 minutes, while the paper 2 will be a morning exam for 2 hours and 30 minutes. The alternative paper will be 2 hours and 10 minutes. Caribbean history comes up with a paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper, and that will be on the 13th of July, 15th of June, 13th of July, with exam time being in the morning for 1 hour 15 minutes, the evening 2 hours 10 minutes, and of course morning 2 hours respectively. Chemistry comes up next with a paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper. The exam will be on the 16th of July, 30th of June, 14th of June, and of course we have the paper 1 being 1 hour and 15 minutes for the evening. The morning exam will be 2 hours and 30 minutes, and the alternative paper will be in the evening for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Please be reminded that we're looking at the final timetable for 2021, the COVID exam, and a lot of persons would have been out of school for at least close to a year. I think a year out of school for a year. But while you were out, you were practicing, you were studying, you were making use of all the resources available. And I'm sure by now you're a subscriber to CSEC Biology, the cover page, and you'll be joining our lessons on a Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 5:05 as we stream free on the internet. That's on YouTube live. You can come there and, of course, fetch some free lessons for human and social biology and biology. We've been going pretty nicely there. We've had a whole lot of subscribers coming on over, a whole lot of students from across the Caribbean. So, of course, you want to join us at CSEC Biology. The cover page, the program is called Mr. Wilson Live, and that's, of course, on a Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. We move on down to economics, and that's the general paper with paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper, the 29th of June, 7th of July, 29th of June. Those are the dates for the exam, and the time is going to be in the evening, 1 hour and 15 minutes for the paper 1. And of course, we're seeing 2 hours there for paper 2, and the alternative paper will be 1 hour and 30 minutes in the evening. Then we have EDPM, which comes with paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper for the 9th of July, 14th of June, 9th of July, with the paper 1 being 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's a morning exam. We also have a morning exam for paper 2, which is going to be 2 hours and 30 minutes. And of course, the alternative paper being 1 hour and 50 minutes there. Then we have English A, the exam that most students will be doing across the Caribbean. Comes up with paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper, and the papers will be on the 22nd of June, 22nd of June, and of course the 25th of June. And paper 1 there will be 1 hour and 30 minutes. Paper 2 will be 2 hours and of course 30 minutes. Of paper 1 there being in the evening, paper 2 being in the morning, and the alternative paper for 2 hours will of course be in the morning. Then we have English B, the general paper, comes up with paper 1, 2, and 3, and a whole lot of footnote there for you, pretty much saying that's the alternative paper, and it will be on the 18th of June and the 25th of June. And of course, that will be 2 hours in the evening, 2 hours and 10 minutes in the morning, and of course 2 hours in the morning. Then we have family resource management with a paper 1, paper 2, and that comes up on the 2nd of July and 29th of June. And the time, of course, is going to be morning for 1 hour and 30 minutes and 2 hours and 30 minutes respectively. Then food nutrition and health, which is a technical subject like food resource management, comes up with paper 1 and 2. And of course, this is on the 14th of July, 15th of June, and the time here is going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes for the evening exam and 2 hours and 30 minutes for the morning exam. Now, please be reminded to subscribe, like, share, and of course, subscribe so that you can help us to get you the most current information that will help you to get to that one in CXC. We move on to French, which has a paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper. And this is, of course, on the 12th of July, 7th of July, and the oral examination will be between the 1st to the 16th of June. There's a morning exam for paper 1, which is, of course, 1 hour and 15 minutes. In the evening, we're going to be having a 2 hour and 15-minute exam for French. Then we move on down to geography, which has a paper 1, paper 2, and alternative paper on the 15th of July, 24th of June, and of course the 15th of July. It's of course a morning exam for paper 1 with 1 hours and 15 minutes, a morning exam for paper 2 with 2 hours and 30 minutes, and of course the alternative paper comes up in the morning as well with a 1 hour and 45 minutes paper. Then human and social biology, the first, a second science I think that we would have seen so far, it has a paper 1 and 2, and it comes up on the 12th of July and the 30th of June. Of course, it's the evening for both papers with 1 hour and 15 minutes and a 2 hour paper respectively. Then we move on into industrial technology, and we have 3 papers here, and I think the paper 1 will be a common paper for all 3 papers. So on the 8th of July, we will have our paper 1 that will of course be 1 hour and 15 minutes. Might I remind you here to have a look at our CXC breaking news, which would carry supporting information as to how CXC intend to execute for the 2021 exams. A whole lot of things there that you'll be able to benefit from. All you need to do is to go on over to our channel at CSEC Biology, the cover page, and look for our exam tips playlist. And of course, you'll find that video there. The thumbnail is saying CXC breaking news. And you really don't want to miss that information, because if you do, you could be missing out on vital information for the examination. So we go back to industrial technology, which is looking at building and furniture, electrical and electronics, and mechanical engineering. First subject here comes up on the 30th of June, and this is a 2 hour and 10 minutes exam for the morning on the 24th of June. However, in the evening, we're going to be having a 2 hour and 10 minutes exam for electrical and electronics. Then we have on the 15th of June, mechanical engineering, and that is of course going to be a morning exam for 2 hours and 10 minutes. We move on down to information technology, and this is a general paper, paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper. And interestingly, all these exams will be on the 6th of July. The first exam here is for the even 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's a paper 1, paper 2, 2 hours, and of course that's a morning exam. And of course paper 2, the alternative, will be a even exam for 2 hours. Integrated Science Single Award is next, and it comes with a paper 1, 2, and of course the alternative paper. The papers will come up on the 9th of July, 5th of July, 8th of July, and of course 2 of those exams will be in the evening. Paper 1 comes in the evening at 1 hour and 15 minutes, paper 2, 2 hours and 30 minutes, and of course the alternative paper will come up at, of course, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Mathematics is another big subject that a lot of persons will be doing right across the Caribbean, with 1 hour and 30 minutes for the paper 1, and that comes up on the 23rd of June, and the 23rd of June for the paper 2 as well, which is of course going to be 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's the morning paper. And of course the alternative paper is on the 25th of June, and that is a 1 hour exam. Music is coming up nicely, and that is pretty much a skill that most of us want to garner before we depart life, as this is pretty much one of those finer art that most persons really enjoy but they are not able to do. Probably you need to sign into a CXC class, and this probably would have helped you a whole lot. Now it has a paper 1 and a paper 2, and paper 1 comes up on the 2nd of July, and this is of course 2 hours. It's an even exam, and we have from the 14th to the 25th of June the practical examination. I do encourage my students to continue practicing. Make sure that you're putting in that extra work that you can ace this exam. Office administration will come up with a general paper on the 2nd of July. All these exams will be with a paper 1, 2, and alternative paper. The paper 1 comes up with a 1 hour and 15 minutes exam for the evening, 2 hours for the paper 2 in the morning, and 1 hour and 45 minutes in the evening for the alternative paper. You want to make use of a footnote here, as it provides pretty much guideline to what you've been seeing and wondering. Why do we have a single asterisk? Why are we having the plus sign? Why are we having things like those? And it says here the plus sign, see notes to timetable, and the notes of the timetable comes up right after the timetable here, and the triple asterisk indicate that it's of course an alternative paper. So we want to be paying attention to that, we're not confused. I'm very happy that I'm able to carry this information for those students who are a little out of touch and just need somebody to assist them along so that they can ace that exam. Now, physical education and sport comes up on the 29th in June, and of course the practical exam will be between the 1st and 25th of June. The paper has a paper 1 and 2, and the paper 1 will be 2 hours and 40 minutes, while the practicum, I think that time will be stated later. Then we have physics, which is a general paper, and it comes up with paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper. Of course, the date for physics is going to be on the 14th of July, 5th of July, 7th of July, where the paper 1 comes up with 1 hour and 15 minutes an even exam, while paper 2 will be a 2 hour and 30 minutes exam in the morning. The alternative paper comes up in the evening. Oh, wow, not an even exam there. I'm very sorry. It will be a morning exam for 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's the alternative paper. Please pay attention to what we're doing here. Now, Portuguese, that's another language. And language paper here will have paper 1, 2, and 3. Now, these papers will, of course, come up on the 16th of July, 28th of June, and the 1st to the 16th of June, you'll be having your oral examination. The paper 1 will be 1 hour and 15 minutes in the morning, and of course, 2 hours and 15 minutes in the morning, respectively. Here we have principles of accounts for those business students, and we're going to be having a paper 1, 2, and of course the alternative paper. And all those papers will come up on the 21st of June. And we move on to the time frame for this exam. The evening exam there, paper 1, will be 1 hour and 30 minutes, while a morning exam for 3 hours for the paper 2, and the alternative paper will be having 1 hour and 30 minutes. We do hope that you have been practicing, and by now you're in touch with your teachers to ensure that final prep is being done. Then we have principles of business with 1 hour, and of course 1 hour and 15 minutes, and 2 hours, of course, for the paper 2, that's the AIM exam. And of course, we're going to be having 3 papers here, paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper. And like I said, or should have said, it will be on the 1st of July, all these papers. So you want to ensure that you are prepared. Religious education will come up. I think a lot of persons are going to be studying. I'm not too sure about the subject. I really don't know much, but I know that the Bible would have said, study to show thyself approved. So probably if you're a RE student, then you would have that bit of scripture all locked into your bosom and ready to go. This paper will have a paper 1, 2, and it will come up on, of course, the 13th of July and the 7th of July. Of course, the paper 1 will be 1 hour and 15 minutes, and it's an evening exam, while the paper 2 will be a even exam for 2 hours. Social study, this is another popular subject that will come up with a paper 1, 2, and the alternative paper. And interestingly, all these exams will be on the 17th of June. So having known the date for social study, you want to ensure that you are ready for that exam when it comes up. I want to just remind us of our free live classes on YouTube. They come up on a Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 5:05 p.m. and we're streaming from Jamaica. Of course, Spanish is next, and Spanish has a paper 1, 2, and of course the alternative paper. The exams will be on the 15th of July, 28th of June, and of course your oral examination paper will be in the period from the 1st to the 16th of June. Your paper 1 will be 1 hour and 15 minutes an even exam, and of course the paper 2 will be 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that's also an evening exam. We have technical drawing, which will be your next exam, and that has a paper 1 and paper 2, and those exams will come up on the 16th of July and the 16th of June. The paper 1 will be 1 hour and 15 minutes, and of course that's a morning exam. Likewise, the paper 2, which will be a morning exam for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Our next paper here will be textile, clothing, and fashion. This is a technical examination and it has a paper 1, 2, and the exam comes up on the 16th of July, 14th of June, and of course, they are both even papers. The paper 1 will be 1 hour and 30 minutes, while paper 2 will be 2 hours and 30 minutes. Theater arts for those persons who are doing acting, vlogging. It might just be good that you sign up to one of these classes to, of course, benefit from the arts. Of course, this is, of course, one of those wonderful paper that you want to, of course, make sure that you are mastering. Visual arts comes up with two paper 2 and the paper 2, and of course, the 2nd of June. And of course, you're going to be having that extended exam between the 16th of June to the 2nd of July. The paper will be given to the candidate on the 2nd of June. So we want to ensure that we are pretty much in line with this so that when the date comes, no one will be disenfranchised and persons will know exactly what is expected of them. I tell you, it's a whole lot to remember. And of course, I want to remind you at this time to like, share, and of course, subscribe. This is, of course, the CXC 2021 final timetable. A lot of persons have been wondering what is going to happen. One would say that this is the COVID timetable. A lot of students have been out of school for quite some time. Now we're going to be looking at the notes to the 2021 timetable, and this is of course very important as the dates you have seen so far. This pretty much provides more information for you. So the asterisk indicates a common paper. The time indicated on the timetable include reading time, 10 minutes reading time and 10 minutes to warm up on the computer prior to the start of the examination for EDPM, and that's for paper 2 on the alternative paper. Now, starting time for all centers in the territory are 9 o'clock in the morning and 1 in the evening. If any center the number of candidates is greater than can be accommodated in one session, the local registrar may arrange to administer the examination in 2 or more sessions, ensuring that suitable arrangements are made to preserve the integrity of the examination. French, Portuguese, Spanish oral examination, paper 3, in each territory will be conducted during the period the 1st to the 16th of June in accordance with the local registrar schedule. Now, it's important to know that the practical examination in physical education and sports, the paper 2 in each territory, will be conducted during the period of the 1st to the 25th of June in accordance with the local registrar schedule. Now we have visual arts here, and this is pretty much an extended exam. A common paper containing all options will be issued to, of course, candidate will be required to choose 2 production paper from the options below. Now for most persons, visual arts is just all about drawing. Probably me before I pretty much was exposed to content like this. But of course, you want to pay attention to this list so that you can be informed, and of course, you can continue to share the good news that of course CXC visual arts is more than just drawing. There are other elements to visual arts. Now, you are going to be able to choose from drawing. Of course, you would have been prepared for that. Or you are going to be able to do printing and mixed media. You might very well choose to do graphic and communication design. You might choose to do printmaking, or you might do textile design and manipulation. You might do sculpture and ceramics, or lettercraft, fiber, and decorative art is also another option you can choose from. Candidate must select for the final examination those 2 options for which SBA assignments have been submitted. So continue on the good journey that you started. The test paper is to be handed to the candidate on Wednesday the 2nd of June. The examination must be completed during the period the 16th of June to the 2nd of July. All The options are 6-hour papers and should be divided into 2 3-hour sessions with a break not less than 1 hour between each session. These 2 sessions need not be held on the same day. All candidates will be required to submit a reflective journal. This must be submitted at the same time as the production piece. Of course, there we have that. Now we move on. Be reminded to subscribe. All paper 1 examination are multiple choice in format except that in visual arts. The paper 1 examination for physical examination and sport will consist of multiple choice component and structured component. Now it's important here that the practical examination in music paper 2 in each territory will be conducted during the period of 14th to the 25th of June in accordance with the local registrar schedule. Attention is drawn to the rule that silent, non-programmable scientific calculator may be used in the following examination: additional mathematics, agriculture double award paper 2 and 3, agriculture science single award paper 2 only, chemistry, economics, geography, industrial technology, building and furniture. Of course, make sure that you would have acquired this calculator long enough before the exam so that you would have learned how to use the calculator. You definitely don't want to get into that exam and that is where you are trying to learn to use the calculator. You're going to be using up a whole lot of exam time and still you won't be able to get to the point of learning to use the calculator. Of course, you won't be able to borrow based on COVID protocol because you might just be spreading the infection or spreading the pathogen. We really don't want that to happen. So you want to ensure that you are prepared before the day of the examination. Procure a calculator from early. You'll be able to use this calculator also in electrical and electronics, mechanical engineering, integrated science single award, mathematics paper 2 and the alternative paper, office administration paper 2 and the alternative paper, physics, principles of accounts, principles of business, the alternative paper only, technical drawing paper 2 you'll be able to use it in. Now the use of geometric set mathematical instrument is permitted in biology paper 2, geography paper 1, 2 and the alternative paper, mathematics paper 2 and the alternative paper, and social studies the alternative paper. For persons who are doing biology, please be reminded to carry a little piece of string in your geometry set. Should you be asked to draw a coil millipede, you'll be able to use the string to assist. Or you could use those tactics that you've learned in geography when you were doing map reading. Information technology paper 2. This subject will be offered at the general proficiency level only. It is not a practical examination. No computer workstation will be required. The alternative paper to SBA in biology, chemistry, integrated science, and physics is a practical examination. Laboratory facilities, of course, will be required. Candidates taking the technical drawing paper 2 card option on June 16 should be given additional time for printing at the end of the examination. Candidates will be required to have earphone or headphone for the paper 1 examination in theater arts. You want to ensure that the earphone that you have is one that is working properly, and of course one that probably doesn't use battery. And of course, I wouldn't use one with battery. I'd use an earphone that can plug into whatever device that I am using. Make sure that it's not an earphone that will be falling from the ears every second or every 2 minutes. You want to ensure that you have an earphone that is firmly secure, one that was tested, one that is indeed working, not one that when you pop into that exam, you're saying that I have to carry it back to the Chinaman because the Chinaman sold me something that is not good. You don't want to do that, or whomever sold you something that is not good. You really don't want to do that. You want to ensure that it would have been tested wherever you bought it, Chinaman or otherwise. It would have been tested, and of course, it is working. They do provide quality stuff, so make sure you don't go stereotyping. All right, here we go. The 15, the alternative paper to SBA paper 3-2 must be written by private candidates who opt not to complete the SB assignment. Paper 1 and the alternative must be written in the same session with a 15 minutes break between them, except in case of science subject, mathematics, English A, English B, where the paper are administered on different days. Paper 1 must be written before the alternative paper. Paper 1 and the alternative paper in these examinations have been scheduled as follows. Social Study, 17th of June. Principles of Account, 21st of June. Economics, 29th of June. Principles of Business, 1st of July. Office Administration, 2nd of July. Theatre Arts, 5th of July. Information Technology, 6th of July. Economic Electronic Document Preparation and Management, 9th of July. Caribbean History, 13th of July. Additional Mathematics, 14th of July. Geography, 15th of July. Industrial Technology Paper 1 is a common paper to all three options: building and furniture, electrical and electronics, mechanical engineering. The paper 2 is a separate paper for each of these options. Candidates are permitted to register for all three options at any one sitting. Now, it's very important that we understand this here. A lot of persons want to be a little more marketable. They are able to do this and they are able to do that. Not sure if it's the best thing, but persons opt for that type of a thing. Candidates who register for English A alternative and English B alternative during the same sitting will be required to write only one examination, since both papers will be offered as a common examination. Now, these are some salient point, very important point for you to take in consideration. Now, this document was released on the 27th of January 2021. The document is owned by CXC and we have done an overview of the document. Now you have it. The Bible would have said, for those persons who are believing in the Bible, or if it's a good quote, to say, study to show thyself approved. And of course, I'm sure that you are in that process of making yourself approved. Be reminded to join us on a Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday for live classes on YouTube for biology and HSB. This is, of course, CSEC Biology, the copper page, and I am Mr. Wilson. Until next time, be at your best. And remember,